Welcome to the podcast. Today we have the incredible Elizabeth Jane joining us. Elizabeth is a transformative speaker and author who openly shares her personal journey of self-discovery following divorce. With her unique experiences in an Indian ashram and teachings from spiritual mentors, she provides powerful tools for healing and personal growth. Through her intuitive art and poetry, we'll talk about that too, she inspires others to embrace their true selves and lead fulfilling lives. Join us as we explore Elizabeth's insights on navigating the complexities of divorce and reclaim your identity to ultimately achieving your ultimate life. Welcome to the Don't Pick the Scab Podcast, with the premise of connecting men over 40 with the tools and community to thrive in their divorce recovery, either before, during, or after a divorce. Let's go back to the ashram. Let's start there, but welcome to the show, Elizabeth.
Thanks, David. Thanks for having me on today. Yeah. The ashram. So, yes. I think the thing is the ashram could be, for someone, ashram is like a chapel or a synagogue or a church, but that church could be the sea to a surfy, it could be the ocean, it could be nature, it could be a park. It doesn't necessarily, it's usually something in nature. It's just somewhere where you can go that is high vibrational, high vibe, because we're all vibrational beings. And so when we go and we throw ourselves into the ocean or into a national park or even put our feet on the grass, we're literally flushing out. We're getting some good energy happening through our energetic being. And that can only help us feel uplifted. And when I've been through, as everyone, we've been through a roller coaster of different challenges in my life so far. And in the early days when life was pretty grim, and after the shock of a 25-year marriage ending very quickly, what I was looking for was what was going to help me get out of bed in the morning. And I was starting a list of things that were helping and a list of things that were hurting me. And I literally, my book, Free and First Unlocking Your Ultimate Life, grew from that, from a list of things that could lift me up, and instead of sliding down the ladders, what ladders are there in life that can make me feel good, and what slippery snakes can I avoid, so it's like I don't feel so down and sad and in victim mentality or angry, or I didn't like those feelings. I don't like those feelings, but they're important, actually, I feel, because they help us work out what's working and what's not. If we don't have those feelings, we can't work out how to get back on track. Yeah.
So do you think that some of those negative feelings and those negative reactions actually help us to go forward?
Yes, I think definitely, David. The problem, I think the crux of the problem, what I found for me, was we're so busy. We're busy with work, we're busy with family, we're busy partying, we're busy with whatever, that we don't actually stop to feel our feelings. And especially, oh gosh, I haven't got time to feel my feelings. Who wants to feel sadness, and who wants to feel anger? Why do we want to do that? But that's the trick. It won't move on unless we can get out of the busyness of life, get off that hamster wheel, stop. And I have a tool in my book called the ABC of me. Stop. A, acknowledge, allow, and accept your feelings, how we feel. That's the superhero, because how we feel, we have to work out how we feel so we can work out what we need. So you go A, acknowledge, allow, and accept how we feel. And then when we know what we need, we go, okay, I'm feeling a bit angry here. So what do I really need? Oh, gosh, that boundary. I need to have that empowered conversation with my boss or with my child or with my partner and set a boundary. So A is acknowledge, B is setting the boundary, and C is the whole chapter is on the communication of the boundary. So most people don't get to do A in this life, I don't think, because we don't stop, because we're numbing ourselves. We're at the party having a few beers and we go, oh, no, I'm fine. But what happens is those feelings are contained within, which is not the answer, because that can lead to disease eventually, I believe. Unease in the shoulders, holding all that in our body is not good. But projecting it onto others and having that road rage concept where we fly off the handle with our rage, or if that doesn't help us, the person, or the other people, it's just a big black bomb of more negative energy. So it's actually just finding that sweet spot to respond rather than react, and to respond, and then to be able to have that communication about how you feel and set that boundary about what you're not going to tolerate. So it's a really important step. And on top of that, we can't really, those feelings that we hold inside of us, how can I move them on? That's what a lot of my friends say, but I'm sick of this anger. I want to move it on. I'm sick of this sadness. I want, can it just move on? If it is like a black cloud, how do I get the black cloud to just move out of my life? And the thing is, that's the tricky one, really, because every time we go into we have to keep in the present to allow the cloud to move. We have to, if we get lost in our thoughts, past or future, so the past thoughts might be, oh, I'll be fine once I get rid of my ex, or once I get rid of my boss, I'll be fine. My life will be roses. It'll be really good. But the reality is, it won't be. You're going to get another boss or another wife or another husband in that's got the same issues or is reflecting what haven't worked out within you. So we don't get what we want. We get what we are, really, what stage we're up to with our own internal landscape that's reflected back at us. So
what role does self-worth play in the healing process after a significant relationship ends?
Yes, that's an important chapter in my book, David. It's the ABC is very important to follow through, but we're not going to speak up. We're not going to set that boundary. We're not going to, we'll think we're the meanie. We'll be worried about that relationship. We want to be on those eggshells, and we'll be tippy-toeing around, not wanting to stand up for what we're worth. If we haven't done the self-care and believe we're worthy, because we're not going to attract a partner who respects us and who's worthy of us unless so we have to find the self-worth within. So there's a whole chapter dedicated to actually lifting our self-confidence, our self-worth, whatever we want to call it, self-love, self-care. There's a lot of words flipped around with this, but basically especially in the early days, we have to build our love of self, so as we will have the confidence, because it takes confidence, it takes vulnerability, yep. It takes practice, and it takes perseverance to actually feel how we feel and follow through with setting a boundary, and then we're free. It sounds easy, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to do A, I'm going to do B, I'm going to do C, and then I'll be free. Okay. So it sounds really easy, but then on the side, we have to build our self-confidence, our love of ourselves, to be able to stand up, to follow through with all that. Yeah.
You incorporate poetry and art in your work. How do these creative expressions contribute to healing?
Yes, I 2018 that the marriage started to, and in 2019 I dived into painting in a big way. I'd never drawn or painted at school because I was considered clever, and so I was put in that sort of category that you do, the concept. But any hobby, I'm just so thankful for my painting and my writing, because any hobby that you enjoy that keeps you present, doesn't matter if it's stamp collecting, painting, whatever it is, any hobby, what it does is it helps you to process your unseen, often, emotion, your sadness, your grief, your anger, whatever unseen emotion that's holding your vibration down, holding you back, chaining you to the past. And so it doesn't matter what it is. So my painting and my writing helped me to process and to allow those little black clouds to move out of the scenery of my life. So anything we can do, you can hear they talk about processing your anger by, yes, you can punch a punching bag, you can go for a run. It doesn't really matter, but you can hit if it's in nature, it helps you lift us quicker as well. So if it's going for a walk in nature or a run, it will really lift you and helps you to process your feelings.
Can you explain the concept of being true to oneself and why it's so crucial for healing?
So being true to yourself. Oh, yes. So being true to yourself, because it's whether we're aware of it or not, we sometimes project as someone we're not, because it might be because we're wanting to get on with someone or we're protecting part of ourselves. But the minute our authenticity is our power, and our authenticity is our superpower, because it is so draining to pretend that we're something that we're not.
Yes, it is.
It's draining. So it's a snake. It takes our energy down, and we want to power up. So if we want to power our energy up and attract high vibe people and opportunities into our life, we have to do all we can to allow our heavy emotions to move on and to power up our vibe by being authentic, being true to ourselves, having that conversation. Because when we talk around the conversation, we can talk to our mates, bringing ourselves down, because the drama, the complaining, the shaming, the judging, it's just like that becomes the quicksand, and where we take ourselves down into a quicksand. Whereas if we want to power ourselves up, it's about nipping it in the bud, going, whoops, I don't feel good about this. I'm going to talk to my boss about it. I'm going to talk, and having the courage, because you've done the self-care on the side and you believe you can, and you're determined to have that calm and confidence.
How do you incorporate the F word, forgiveness? That's the word that everybody has a hard time with.
Yeah.
And everybody has a different take on it. What is your take on forgiveness, and where did you put it in your book?
Yes, again, I've got a whole chapter on forgiveness.
All the chapters, man. I'm on it. Boom, boom, boom.
And I love it because it's the school teacher in me. It is that I've just really kept this book. I've got little tables at the end of chapters. I've just read it very succinctly to get people feeling good. That's the basis of my book. I love what I say. I say, fake it until you make it. Because sometimes you think, hell no, I can't, there's no way I can, no, you must be joking. How can you forgive someone for that? But the reality is you have to put your ego aside and think, be curious. This forgiveness thing, is it good for me? And it's actually good for the person as well. So even if you haven't done, I haven't done anything wrong, it's very good, because if we're holding on to grudges, and we're holding ourselves, we're chaining ourselves, we're holding ourselves, our vibration down. We're chained. We're still in the past. If we're still bringing up the drama, whatever drama has been of the past, spilt milk. But if we can forgive, we're not condoning their behaviour, by the way. We're not condoning their behaviour. We're forgiving we're forgiving them because it's helping us. The reality is we're all at different levels of understanding on this planet. Everyone's at a different consciousness. Everyone. We're a whole spectrum. And we can bang our head against a wall and go, you must understand by now, you must understand. But we may as well be talking to a toddler. It's like getting a 2-year-old to understand. We still love the toddler, but the 2-year-old's not going to understand what your university child will understand. But you don't expect that of them, do you? You don't expect, oh God, when's that toddler going to stop having its tantrums? We don't expect that. We still love our 2-year-old. So I think we have compassion for them, that they're doing the best that they can, and we can only do us. We can't control the actions of others. We can only control how we respond to the actions of others.
What about co-parenting? That's a big one for my men over 40. A lot of them are in pretty much a shit show sometimes. And I was in one when my kids were younger, and I got through it from the standpoint that I had to love my kids more than I hated my ex.
Yes.
And that got me through it. What are some of the things that you can tell the men to work on with that co-parenting phase?
Yes, I think the most important thing is not to bring the children into something that's personally between the mother and the father of the children. If it's between, if we can leave the children out of it, that's the best thing we can do for the children, in terms of it's not their fault that this has happened, and it's very important to reassure them that they've got nothing to do with the relationship breaking down. And I really emphasize that because children can take on the burden that they've been blamed. For some reason, it's their fault. And I would imagine most parents wouldn't want their children to be thinking that. So going back to co-parenting, the most important thing is you can't control your ex, of course. You can't control their actions. So it goes back to what I was saying before. All we can do is, when we do our work on ourselves, everyone benefits. That's the magical thing, because we're all spongy joined. We're energetically joined.
One way or another. Yep.
Exactly. So when you do the work, when we do the work, we lift up into a better place. We're happier, we're stronger, we believe in ourselves, and then that flows on to our children, and flows on to our parents, and flows on to our friends. And so that's how we can be the biggest gift to our children, to uplift them. So all we need to do is do the work on ourselves, and then it will radiate out to even our exes. Okay, so if we're sending anger, we're going to get anger back. The world's a mirror. It's a mirror. So if we can send love and respect, it's very hard not to receive love and respect back.
Yep.
It's a bit of a game, really. You think, oh gosh, how can I? And it takes practice. It takes practice and determination. But I have a good relationship with my ex now, and it was a few years of a divorce that went on for quite a few years. But it gave me that time to really find me and work out how this all works.
This is the most common question the men always ask me. What are some of the signs that someone is ready to start dating again after a divorce? Because men get impatient. And we talked about that earlier in the pre-interview, where people make the same mistake again.
Yes. I think the thing is, we all love to feel loved and respected and wanted. And gosh, when am I going to get back into that sweet spot? I really want to go there right now, especially when you've been rejected and you've just gone through the trauma of a divorce. It's so easy to want to just go, I just want to just jump back into that wonderful feeling of romance and love and smell the roses once again. Just have that wonderful. But the problem is, the main reason is, unless we're going to attract relationships that mirror the feelings that we haven't worked out within us. So we're going to mirror what we feel, that mirror what we feel. It's not what we want. So we're wanting an emotionally intelligent, calm person into our life that can express their emotions, but we can't do that unless we're doing that ourselves. We have to get our internal landscape happening and do the ABC, keep doing the ABC, acknowledging how we feel, putting that boundary in place, communicating that, and then we will attract higher vibe opportunities. We have to lift our vibe. We have to get rid of process all the heavy emotions, and then we lift in our consciousness, and we'll attract a higher vibe, a better opportunity. And it's a better opportunity in terms of relationships, but guess what? It's better opportunities in terms of work, abundance, it's money, health, relationships. Everything starts to improve dramatically as we lift into a better place ourselves. Yeah, it is very tempting, and you hear, oh, love on the rebound, oh, it's not the best thing. And I have actually had a girlfriend, and she's still going through a divorce, and she's rebounded, and she's doing work on herself, and I'm watching it. It's working really well, and so there's always exceptions. But the thing is, until you find you, often we lose ourselves. Going back to how we started the conversation, whether we're a man or a female, we can lose ourselves in our roles with work. We can lose ourselves in our roles as father or mother or sister, whatever role. And when that role disappears, it can be very traumatic if we think we are that role. And so we need to reestablish, in the early days, we have to work out what we really want. Like in the early days, I was going, okay, I set myself 10 minutes to follow my joy. It was like, what is my joy? What do I really want to do with this 10 minutes? Like whether it's just play like a child, get some chalk and play hops with the kids next door, or
it's simple.
Something to just lift me up of the trauma that I'm going through. So there's all these short-term, when we're going through the trauma, there's all these, my to-do list is a different to-do list than, say, a couple of months down after, when you're getting out of bed and you're feeling a bit better. Then I went into exploring the idea of how to actually release all rather than hold on to pain.
Wow. What role does gratitude play in your healing techniques?
So gratitude, that's just because you hear about that a lot, don't you, with gratitude diaries and people. And what it does really is it attracts more things to be grateful into your life, because what it does is it focuses you on the good things rather than on the bad things. So if we're focusing and grateful for the good things, we actually manifest. We actually draw more good things in, because we're actually, and likewise, if we focus on the drama, we can draw in more challenges, because we are energetic beings, and we most of us unconsciously manifest depending on what our thought processes are about. Most of the time we have, someone told me we have 60,000 thoughts a day, David. Do you keep track of your 60,000?
No. My gosh, no.
And so 60,000 thoughts. I thought, okay, hell no, I can't keep track of my 60,000 thoughts. There must be an easier way. And the easier way is to know how you're feeling, because then if you're feeling yuck, it's because your thoughts aren't that hot. They're not that good. So therefore, if we're feeling yuck, we're often in the past, shaming or blaming or going over the drama and regretting, all that sort of thing. Or we're in the future, fatalizing about the fantasy future. Oh, where am I going to live? What am I going to do? when we power up, we have to power up by coming back into the present, and then we're out of our thoughts and we're powering up our energy. Whereas we're in the past or the future, we're draining. Our thoughts are draining us. So they drain us. And so gratitude happens when we're thinking of all the amazing things in our life, and we naturally draw more amazing things. So it doesn't hurt to say, oh, I'm a famous keynote speaker and I'm traveling the world, and whatever without a ceiling on what you want, it's about you can manifest it in the right, like it's better than manifesting more drama into your life.
Speak it into existence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the affirmations, put them on the fridge.
I think I'm going to start doing that. How can someone create, and this is right up that alley, how can someone create a vision for their ultimate life after divorce?
Yes. As I said, it's very important to get your internal landscape up to scratch, to really look. It's not going to happen overnight. But small steps, we lift our vibe up by just turning the radio station on and dancing to a silly song. That lifts us up. Yeah. So we're in a better place because we're going to attract light vibe people and opportunities. So the more we can have choice points in our day, each day, and we're choosing things that help us, we go up. We're choosing things that hurt us, we go down. So we can make each day. We've got the power. We have the power to choose. All the time we can choose. Is it a snake or is it a ladder? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Every moment of the day, in the next half hour, you can go, okay, I'm going to have another 10 beers, or I'm going to go home and listen to some music. Oh, yeah, I probably. So once we become the leader of our life and really want to lift up and into a better place, we're all capable of it. It's a choice point.
Yep. What are the 3 things that we just talked about that you want to make sure our listeners and viewers remember?
Yes, okay, 3 things. Gosh, I think the most important thing that we just need to be more mindful. We need to stop and have mindful moments during the day, especially when we're losing it, if we're feeling not good, helpless, angry, sad, whatever not good means to you and your listeners, to just take 2 minutes time out to find, if you can, even if it's just going to the bathroom, who cares where? I don't really care. It could be at the traffic lights. It could be in a queue at the supermarket. It doesn't really matter. And what do we do with that 2 minutes? We breathe. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but what does breathing do? It brings us out of our mind and out of our thoughts, past and the future, which are not serving us and draining us, and into the present. So when we belly breathe, and we can breathe in slowly for 5, hold for 5, and then breathe out. Imagine breathing out all our frustrations.
Okay.
And that really helps us. They'd say the parasympathetic nervous system slows down, but what it does is it really helps us jolts us into a better place quickly. And we can also then go, oh God, it's not such a problem. When we're feeling better, we can view the problem that we had, and we get these creative solutions. We get solutions that come in. So the 3 things: stop, get out, find time during the day to reflect and reset is a really important one. Forgiveness and gratitude also play their really important roles but all it is, we need to get our stuff sorted, and then we'll attract that into our lives rather than the challenges. We'll have less challenges coming in, especially as we stand up to those challenges by doing the ABC, setting the boundaries, having that conversation. Once we get the gold star for having the good conversation, we don't get those challenges, those assignments as much. Those angry people into our lives, we don't get people who, oh gosh, why are my children disrespecting me? Oh, okay. Maybe I need to look if I'm respecting myself. Oh gosh, why? That's not love. Oh, maybe I need to do more work on loving myself.
Yep.
So your kids and your relationships help you to work out what you need to look at within you. Yeah.
Wow. Elizabeth, that was interesting. Man, you made me think of a little bit about that, and I have no clue what I'm going to call this one. Usually by the end of the episode, I know this is going to be the title, but this one I don't notice. So many parts to the octopus. Tell the viewers and listeners out there where to find you on the internet.
Yes, I'm on Elizabeth Jane. My website is elizabethjane.com and .au for Australia. elizabethjane.com.au, and my book, Free and First, Unlocking Your Ultimate Life, which will help you step through challenges, no matter if you've got the divorce happening, if you've got financial issues or health issues. The same toolkit that's available on Amazon, and I've got a new edition coming out shortly, actually.
Okay. Elizabeth, I want to thank you for hooking up with me from Australia, but thank you for your time and this morning for you and night for me. But hold on the line.